Hey, good afternoon, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, anywhere you are in the world. Let's talk a little. I am Marvin Darlington. I have played a lot of professional cricket all over the place. Now, I am not here to talk about that, even though accolades are important in the game. For I have represented the Empire State Titan, the New England Eagle, the Fort Lauderdale Lions in the well-renowned minor league cricket, and the Samp Army international franchise. So many entities: Villagers Cricket Club, St. Thomas in Jamaica, Kingston Cricket Club in Jamaica, and so many well-renowned clubs, right? Now, doesn't matter the level that you play. So that's why I say the accolades are important, but this, what I'm saying, is even more important, especially to youngsters coming up. It is very important to know it doesn't matter what level you are at. The secret to the game is the simple, fundamental, basic. Meaning, just like life, business, same thing in sports, there got to be chronological, and it starts from the basic fundamentals. Basic fundamentals for youngsters coming in the game is like understanding that this game, it's a side-on game, and it's side-on in so many ways: in batting, bowling, fielding, and so many aspects of the game is side on. Now, that is one that is fundamental. Now, I say, to love this game, you have to get used to the basic and most important element in the game, which is the ball. The spectator in the crowd, they're watching the ball, where it's going. That's what they celebrate when it goes over the boundary or, into the fence. The people at home, just like me and you, sitting watching a lot of games, we watching the television to see where the ball is going. The umpire, to make a decision, has to watch the ball. Now, you see, it's important to know that one of the most fundamental knowledge of the game is to remember, no matter the name of the players that are in the game, the ball is the most fundamental thing to be focusing on, right? And I am a fan of a lot of players, but when I cross that rope to play this game, nothing is more important than the ball in the game. Now, that's another basic fundamental. So what I'm saying, youngsters, keep your eyes on the ball. The ball is the prize. That's basic. If you got to take a catch, you have to watch the ball. If you're bowling, you got to see where you want the ball. That's another way of still watching the ball. Visionary watching the ball. Spot bowling. Or as a batter, you have to have your zone where you're still watching the ball. Those are basic fundamentals of the games, right? Another fundamental of the game is respect practice. Yes, it is very important to respect practice. Do not practice without a purpose. It is important to have a purpose when you practice. See what you're doing, feel what you're doing, think about what you're doing, learn from what you're doing, pay attention to what you're doing, see what is happening in so many aspects of how the weather affect the game, a sunny day, an overcast day. These are basic fundamentals that affect the ball. Now, another basic thing is knowing fielding positions. There are so many positions on a cricket field. Learn them. It is important to learn them. Wicket keeper directly behind. First slip, second slip, third slip, fourth slip, first gully, second gully, deep backward point, third man, and it keeps coming around. Point, cover, extra cover, mid-off. Learn them. It's important when you're playing the game to know the fielding position. Those are basic fundamental and knowledge of the game. Do not overlook them. It's very important. Understanding where you are on a field may win a game. Maybe if you're watching the captain, which is another fundamental of the game, without the captain always have to be pointing you, paying attention to the captain. When he points you at a fielding position, it is very important to know where the captain wants you. That's basic fundamentals of the game. So understanding the importance of why he wants you a little more backward or a little more forward or a little more square on, meaning 90 degrees straight line going across there. He wants you there. So it's very important to know that that's a basic fundamental of the game. Do not undermine these. Practicing, as I mentioned before, with a purpose, meaning you are figuring out how to improve. Do not be gruntled with yourself. It's an ongoing learning game. So it's important to know that you are always learning in the game, from the basic fundamental level to the highest level. And learning comes from each period, where most athletes will have a good time and a bad time. But who is able to bounce back mentally? Because it's also a mental game from the basic fundamentals. So you have to be prepared mentally to receive, not saying failure, but how not to get out like that again. And those are basic fundamentals. So I hope this is a very knowledgeable conversation, especially to youngsters. And it's also for the senior players in the game as well. This game, you never stop learning. Do not ever forget the basic. Ryan Mclean, the great man, always say, the basic is what builds every block. So, until next time, never forget the fundamental, the basic. The first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. So never think going back to the smallest basics of practicing side on, heads over the ball, foot to the pitch of the ball, moving into position, practicing your catches, practicing your run out, practicing your spot bowling, and keep it simple, because simple is sometimes the most fundamental basic. Stay blessed. Marvin, Darlington.